Here's an interesting fact about anxiety and panic attacks. Did you know that just like the hiccups, doctors still can't agree exactly why they happen to you? And did you also know there's a 60-second solution to panic and anxiety that you can do anywhere? Yes, it just takes you 1 minute, and I'm going to share it with you today. Hi, I'm Dan. Until one day about a year ago, I thought I might be doomed to let panic attacks rule my life. And I made this free online presentation to tell you about the one discovery about panic and general anxiety that finally cut through the confusion and changed everything. Pay very close attention, because whether you've only had one or two attacks so far, or even if you've been having them for years and it seems like a life sentence you'll never escape from, you're about to discover one weird thing that panic, anxiety, and the hiccups, yes, the hiccups, have in common that goes right back to the Stone Age. You'll also discover how, by combining an obscure secret about the body hidden in this statue with something in this child's drawing, you can get immediate relief from any panic or anxiety attack, anywhere, anytime, in 60 seconds or less. That's right, one little trick that takes you just 60 seconds and stops your panic or anxiety attack before it starts, or anyone around you even notices. All without a single pill from a doctor or psychiatrist or a trip to the pharmacy. Already, this video presentation has helped so many people. In fact, Gail says, "Thank you so much for this informative video. I never knew the real cause of panic disorder, but now I'm on my way to being panic-free." Bob says, "This presentation has saved me thousands of dollars in medication bills, not to mention a bunch of awful side effects." And Michelle says, "I was convinced I needed months of therapy to solve my general anxiety, until I watched your video. Thank you so much." Now, fair warning, I can't promise I'll be able to keep this video online. I'm an average guy with a family and a job, and if it starts getting too much attention, I might have to take it down. So please watch it now while you can. Because the fact that you're here on this page tells me you may have already reached a point where you feel your anxiety is not going away on its own, or you fear it's getting worse and worse. And I don't want you to go one more day allowing panic or anxiety to make your life miserable, as it keeps you from enjoying everything from your work to your health to your friends and family. It's important you know that you will not suffer like this forever. There is a solution. And yes, you deserve to live your life without fearing when or where your next attack will strike and feeling helpless to stop it. I know how you feel because I have been there myself. I understand what you're going through, how alienated you feel from the people closest to you. They try to understand, but it's easy to see how frustrated they can get with you. Other people may be able to shake a bad mood by putting on happy music or forcing themselves to smile, but this is not a bad mood. This is something different, and those who haven't felt it simply can't relate. So what's this secret you're about to discover that let me put panic attacks and anxiety behind me and get my life back? Well, believe it or not, it all started with a seatbelt, a kind stranger on an airplane, and a business card I almost threw away. I'll tell you that story in just a second, but first, let me get something off my chest. If you're suffering from panic attacks or anxiety today, you're not going crazy or losing your mind, and you do not have a mental illness. Unfortunately, when you seek help, you may get the same knee-jerk reaction many people who have an anxiety or panic attack receive from their doctor, a hasty prescription for a bottle of pills. But don't blame your doctor. It's really not his fault. These days, doctors get about as many visits from big pharma salesmen as they do from patients like us, giving them incentives for dispensing their latest miracle cure drugs. And you know how they say when all you have is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail? Well, you and me are the ones getting hammered. Did you know the American Academy of Family Physicians recently claimed the most popular anti-anxiety drugs should not be used for longer than 4 weeks? The truth is, while some people need medication in the short term, you must understand, drugs do nothing to cure the root cause of your suffering. And if that's not bad enough, the side effects for many of these medications are, ready for this? Panic attacks, anxiety, even depression and suicidal thoughts. It's enough to make you wonder if these drug companies actually want you to remain stuck in a life-destroying cycle of panic and anxiety, just so they can squeeze every penny out of you. The good news is, the 60-second tip I'm about to share with you put a stop to my panic attacks and anxiety before I gave in and accepted a drug company's little bottle full of help. Today, I am completely free from panic and anxiety. I'm no longer haunted by fear, wondering when and where my next attack is going to strike. Because I know if I even get a hint of an attack coming on, I could stop it dead in its tracks in just 60 seconds. So let me introduce you to the person who shared this 60-second panic solution with me just over a year ago today. Her name is Anna Gibson Steele. And here's what I think you'll find unique about Anna. She's not a doctor, even though doctors who know her refer their patients to her for treatment. And although she's a licensed therapist who successfully worked with over 2,000 clients, unlike any other therapist I've ever heard of, she's openly happy about the fact that 93% of the panic and anxiety sufferers she helps never need to return for a second appointment. Anna's expertise and wisdom in helping people overcome panic and anxiety without dangerous drugs or endless and expensive talk therapy comes from her near-relentless pursuit of the truth. You see, 19 years ago, before she became a therapist, Anna suffered from panic attacks just like you and me. As she tells the story, she was working at a bank, sitting down having a friendly meeting with a customer, when all of a sudden, she felt a strange flutter of nervous energy in her belly, and it became more intense until she could hardly breathe. Her thoughts were scrambled. All she could imagine was, even though she was young and in good health, she was somehow having a heart attack. She felt sweat on her palms as she sat at her desk in sheer terror, waiting for the moment when she would black out. One of her coworkers bundled her into a car and rushed her straight to a doctor. The doctor examined her, told her she was not having a heart attack, gave her a prescription, and told her to go home and get some rest. Anna says it wasn't until years later that she found out what she experienced was called a panic attack. After that, things got so bad for Anna that she rarely experienced a moment where she felt safe, secure, and at ease. She felt perpetually on the verge of a nervous breakdown, increasingly afraid she would end up in a mental hospital. The medication her doctor prescribed did nothing, she says, except turn her into an emotionless zombie. Seeing no light at the end of the tunnel, her world narrowed and shrank into a dark and lonely place. A place in which staying in bed and praying for peaceful sleep felt like the only way to escape the waking nightmare she was living. And Anna was lucky. Practically by accident, she discovered a secret that allowed her to start living a normal life again. Yet the memory of that dark time haunted her for years as she dedicated her life to helping others who were facing the same misunderstood and terrifying symptoms. And the more she studied, the more she uncovered the truth. Panic attacks and anxiety are not a mental illness. They're not caused by bad genetics either, and the cure can never be found in a pill, months of talk therapy, or by breathing deeply and thinking happy thoughts. So now that I've told you Anna's story, let me share with you how I discovered Anna and her solution, and exactly how this little 60-second trick works. Now, I'm 32, and until about a month before I met Anna, I never had any problems with anxiety, much less full-on panic attacks. If you ask my friends and family to describe me, they'd probably call me successful, easygoing, or even carefree. I certainly didn't feel stressed out, or like I was headed for a mental breakdown. Heck, as an avid skydiver, deep-water dive master, and a pilot in training, I intentionally lived life on the edge. If it wasn't extreme, I wasn't interested. So I couldn't have felt more relaxed, or so I thought, as my wife and I took our seats on a routine flight home from Seattle to Dallas. Yet as the plane took off out of the blue, I couldn't breathe. My heart felt like it was pounding out of my chest, and as hot as it was, I felt a cold sweat breaking out on my skin. And that's when the unthinkable happened. There was only room for one thought in my head. I have to get out. Forget that the plane is already airborne. I unbuckled my seatbelt, made a rush for the cabin door in an attempt to open it. Several people leapt up to restrain me. They dragged me back to my seat, all the while screaming at the top of my lungs, "Land the plane! Land the plane!" Of course, the flight attendants didn't know what to think. They could only see I was overcome with fear. They kept saying, "Don't worry, flying is perfectly safe." When the truth was, I not only didn't have a fear of flying, I was a pilot myself, only a few flight hours from becoming licensed. My wife, even more confused and alarmed than the airline staff, could only try to comfort me as I suffered for 4 hours, pushing my head against the metal part of the seat, hoping it would hurt enough to drown out the feeling in my head that was so much worse than physical pain. Finally, by the time the plane landed, the feeling of terror was gone. And the minute I got off that plane, I swore to myself, whatever the heck that was, it can never happen again. No matter what it takes, I need to figure this out. Now, call it fate, or the universe, or whatever you may believe in. As I'm standing there by the arrival gate, still dazed from the whole experience, a woman with a soft Irish accent approaches me and says, "Sorry to bother you, but I was on the plane and I saw what happened." Mortified by what people on the plane must think of me, I assumed she wanted to give me a piece of her mind. I could only stammer, "I'm so sorry. You must feel like slapping me for what happened up there." Instead of letting loose like I half expected, she smiles at me, calmly hands me a business card and says, "No, I'm not mad at you. In fact, I think I know what you're going through because I experienced it myself. And if you're willing, I know an amazing therapist named Anna Gibson Steele who can help you right over the phone. Here's her number." What would you have done? Would you have been smarter than me and called the number on that business card right away? Or would you have done the same thing I did? Politely tuck the card in your pocket, thank the stranger for her kindness, and call your physician for the soonest possible appointment. As it turned out, my doctor couldn't see me for 5 long days. Doesn't sound like a long time to wait. However, over the next 48 hours, I had not 1, not 5, but 19 terrifying panic attacks. These attacks were coming out of nowhere, and when I least expected them. Like when sitting on the couch watching TV, reading a book, and worst of all, even in the middle of the night. I knew I wasn't going to make it 5 whole days, and even then, I was pretty sure what my doctor was going to say. "Take 2 of these as needed." What I needed was an immediate solution, so one night after bolting awake out of a deep sleep, convinced I was dying, I dug that business card out of my wallet and dialed the long international number, not even thinking about the time. Yet after just 2 rings, I heard a soothing Irish voice say, "Hello, this is Anna Gibson Steele." I felt such relief. I just started talking, and everything came out in a rush. The airplane disaster, the kind stranger, and the waking nightmare I'd been living every day since the day I took that flight. And what she shared with me on that call, the same 60-second technique I'm now passing on to you with her permission in just a moment, was so simple it might seem almost too good to be true until you try it. Because it flies in the face of the lies we've been fed about panic and anxiety for years by pharmaceutical companies with billion-dollar advertising campaigns, and even repeated by well-meaning doctors and therapists. The biggest of these lies, Anna told me, is that you need a prescription pill, or that panic and anxiety are all in your head, and that if you try hard enough, you can just talk the panic away and get over it. If you've heard these lies yourself, they may have made you feel the same way I did by the time I talked to Anna, that you're weak, or there's something wrong with you, or even that you're losing control of your mind and you might end up losing control of your life if it gets any worse. You see, Anna explained, the root cause of your attacks is buried so deep no amount of talking and no pill will ever make it go away. I was getting curious. "Where is it then?" I asked. "Well, have you ever had the hiccups?" she asked. "Of course," I laughed. "Well," she said, "your panic attacks are triggered in the same part of the brain as hiccups. And it's this subconscious part of your brain, an ancient area scientists call the lizard brain, the part that contains the primitive survival instincts passed down over millions of years of evolution." "You mean like fight or flight?" I asked. "Exactly," she said. "It's called the fight or flight response, and it's automatic. So when something truly dangerous or scary happens, you can react without even thinking about it and save your life." "Okay, that makes sense," I said. "So then why would my lizard brain start freaking out when I'm not in any real danger, and I'm not even afraid? Like when I'm watching TV or sitting on a plane going home from vacation?" She continued, "Well, that's because sometimes, for reasons the brain scientists don't fully understand yet, your survival instinct goes haywire and triggers feelings of intense anxiety and panic even when there's nothing threatening you." Anna went on to tell me that because your survival instinct is buried deep in your lizard brain, it's not only not your fault that you get panic attacks and feel overcome with anxiety. In fact, the only way to get relief is to find a way to control that most primitive survival area of your mind. That's because it doesn't respond to thinking or talking. It doesn't understand psychology or self-help books. And even the most powerful drugs only mask your symptoms for a little while. To get rid of your panic attacks, she said, you need to start speaking your lizard brain's language. Just imagine, Anna said, if you got the hiccups, which are really just another kind of glitch in the same ancient part of your brain, would you try to reason with them? I laughed. No, of course not. I'd hold my breath or swallow a glass of water upside down or something. Well, she said, obviously panic and anxiety is more serious than a case of the hiccups, though you can get relief the same way, by using your body to send the right messages to your brain, making it do what you want. She had my full attention now. So you're telling me there's literally something I could do that's as fast and simple as getting rid of the hiccups that can relieve these panic attacks I've been having? She could tell I was skeptical, so she simply said, "Let me show you." Right then and there on the phone, as I sat on the living room sofa in the dark, she walked me through a simple technique that took her about 20 minutes to teach me, and only 60 seconds for me to put into action every time after that, whenever I felt a panic attack coming on. A deceptively simple yet powerful secret that allowed me to get practically instant relief on command. Something that you can do absolutely anywhere, at any time, so subtle that no one around you will even notice you're doing it. And you might be wondering, just like I did, how can something so simple really work? And will it work for anybody? Will it work for you? As Anna revealed to me, not only is the secret behind her unique 60-second panic solution based on cutting-edge science, it's been known to ancient Chinese medicine, Buddhist monks, and Indian yogis for thousands of years. Because, as she explained, there's a powerful connection between your mind and body, specifically your thumb and index finger and the most primitive part of your brain that triggers your survival instincts. People who practice body-mind exercises like ancient yogis have known this amazing connection has existed for a long time, Anna said. And now, scientific research is catching up. In fact, Anna combined recent scientific breakthroughs in fields such as embodied cognition and neurophysiology to create the core principle behind the 60-second panic solution, a principle she calls neuroactivation therapy. And what this means for you is that Anna has taken the best research, tested and proven in peer-reviewed journals, and turned it into practical methods you don't need a scientist or lab or a PhD to use for yourself today. Because what Anna revealed is a simple way to use your fingers and the creative power of your mind to literally deactivate certain parts of your brain that are not needed at specific times. In this case, the lizard brain that's causing your panic attacks and high levels of anxiety. The result, I can tell you, is almost instant. You can literally switch off a scary panic or anxiety attack in 60 seconds before it strikes and overpowers you. The best part is, the only thing you need to make this technique work for you is 2 fingers, and the ability to use your mind to visualize a specific scenario that Anna will teach you. It's as simple as the imagination behind a child's drawing. And when you combine these 2 parts of Anna's neuroactivation therapy together, your mind and your body, relieving your panic or anxiety symptoms seems practically as easy as breathing. Again, you might say that neuroactivation therapy is both ancient and ahead of its time, based on principles known for thousands of years and proven by the latest scientific research. And that's why, as Anna and I kept talking, me in my pajamas, Anna thousands of miles away and 6 hours ahead in her office in Limerick, Ireland, one thought kept coming back to me again and again. If I could only share what I'm hearing here with anyone else suffering with panic and anxiety attacks, anyone who's as confused, frightened, and frustrated as I am. And that desire only grew stronger as Anna went beyond her 60-second technique and showed me a simple step-by-step method to completely eliminate panic and anxiety from your life for good in just 21 days. So just to recap, that's 60 seconds to stop your next panic or anxiety attack in its tracks before it starts, and 3 short weeks until you don't even need to use the 60-second trick anymore because your symptoms are gone forever. Now, if you've been suffering from panic attacks or persistent anxiety and nothing has worked for you up until now, I wouldn't blame you a bit if you were skeptical something this simple could be anything more than hocus pocus. Yet the entire reason I put this presentation together is so I can vouch for everything Anna shared with me on that late-night phone call and in the days and weeks after. Because not only did I find myself almost effortlessly banishing every panic attack that came my way before it could crush my self-confidence and ruin my day, by the end of my first 3 weeks following Anna's advice, it was as though my entire experience with panic attacks had just been a bad dream. Just imagine this. No matter how long you felt the shadow of panic hanging over you, ready to strike terror into your soul like a bolt of lightning, and leave you powerless to do anything but let the storm run its course, suddenly, like being released from a prison of fear, you have freedom once again. Freedom from stress and worry, pain, and emotional suffering. Freedom to leave your home and socialize with your friends and family. Freedom to go where you want and do what you wish, feeling safe and confident, feeling that you're in control and everything is okay. You can truly feel normal again, and not just normal, but empowered and optimistic about your future. You have so much life left to live, and you can begin living it today with a newfound feeling of confidence and courage. Now, although I didn't know it at the time, Anna has helped thousands of people recover from panic and anxiety at her private clinic in Ireland, almost all of whom experience a complete transformation after just one session. And even though most therapists would consider that a problem, Anna embraces it. In fact, many of her former patients feel such a passion to share her amazingly simple method, they become her students at a college she founded called the Holistic Center of Excellence, where Anna teaches her breakthrough healing techniques. But guess what? If one of her incredible success stories hadn't been on the same plane with me, I'd never have known about her, because until now, Anna has been a closely held secret virtually unknown outside of Ireland. After months of going back and forth, I managed to convince Anna to let me pay her back by helping her change that. How? By making her treatment available online, so sufferers all over the world can experience relief in the comfort of their own home. I even insisted on making this presentation and putting it online for you because Anna's a little too modest and doesn't like to brag, so I'm doing it for her. It's called the 60-second panic solution, because even though there's more to her methods, the 60-second secret is what you're going to discover first. And that first experience of taking back control and getting almost instant relief is going to mark a turning point in your life. In short, the 60-second panic solution is the only 100% natural system that lets you tap into the power of your body-mind connection to end any panic or anxiety attack, anytime, anywhere it happens, all in just 60 seconds flat. I can tell you from my own experience, and after hearing from some of Anna's many other clients, that this method works whether you're experiencing panic attacks, anxiety attacks, symptoms of general anxiety, fears, phobias, even obsessive-compulsive disorder, and especially if you've tried every solution under the sun, pills, therapy, hypnosis books, etc., and nothing has worked for you. The 60-second panic solution is the direct result of over 7 years of Anna's dedicated research. It's a proven, tested solution Anna has used to help more than 2,000 sufferers make a full recovery at her private clinic in Ireland. And from this moment forward, you'll have access to this same exact treatment that has helped so many without getting on an airplane or even leaving your computer. So if you're ready to finally get rid of panic and anxiety and take your life back for good, I can promise you the 60-second panic solution can end your suffering and transform your life starting today. It's literally the only program you will ever need to stop your next anxiety or panic attack cold in just 60 seconds or less, and put them behind you forever in only 3 short weeks. I'll take you inside Anna's program in a minute. First, I want to show you what some of Anna's clients have experienced so it's not just me singing her praises. Debbie M. says, I first came to Anna in February 2010 on my doctor's recommendation. I was suffering terribly from panic attacks at the time. I felt completely lost, but as soon as I met Anna, I felt at ease. She's friendly, caring, and very supportive. I knew I was in good hands. Anna showed me how to end my symptoms and resolve issues I wasn't even conscious of. Kevin R. says, by the time I met Anna, I was completely overwhelmed with anxiety. I had no idea what was causing it. I could be typing on the computer, driving in my car, or playing with my kids, and with no warning at all, a surge of fear would shoot through my body. My heart would suddenly begin pounding, and I'd find it difficult to breathe. This went on for weeks. I kept thinking, why can't I shake this terrible feeling? Anna showed me a very simple exercise that ended my anxiety within seconds. This technique has worked every time since then. And MyRead S. says, Dear Anna, I was feeling pretty low with anxiety attacks and panic attacks and had them fairly often. The anxiety was with me all the time. I went to see you on the recommendation of my sister, and I loved it. I've had no attacks since, and the anxiety is fading day by day. I feel stronger, and I'm thrilled this problem is gone, as it was taking over my life. These kinds of results are possible for me and thousands of people Anna works with because she doesn't dismiss you with a prescription or string you along with endless sessions of talk therapy that never reach the root cause of your suffering. Instead, Anna gives you the tools to bring your own runaway survival instinct and the panic and anxiety it sets loose in your life back under your control. It's the reason why even medical doctors in Anna's area send their patients to her for relief from panic and anxiety. Dr. Beatrice M. Neufeld, MD, says, Since 2005, I've sent countless patients to Anna for treatment. The benefits they report are often significant. Patients using her techniques claim their anxiety levels have come right down. Panic attacks have stopped or become less frequent. Overall quality of life has improved, And in severe cases where patients were unable to leave their homes, they were able to reintegrate themselves back into society, back into the workforce, and were able to socialize with friends and live a normal, active life once again. For these reasons and more, I recommend Anna's method to people suffering from anxiety and panic attacks. I believe if you use this method as directed, you will experience deep and profound improvements in your condition. And beyond the 60-second technique I've already told you about, here are just a few of the unique things I quickly picked up from Anna's program. In the very first video, Anna shows you one fact you probably haven't noticed before about your panic or anxiety attacks, and why it's the key to getting relief. In another video, you'll discover how to pinpoint your unique early warning sign that prevents a panic attack from ever sneaking up on you again, and lets you get relief from an episode before it starts. Now, here's the best part if you're just getting started. There's a whole section that shows you step by step how to master the 60-second panic solution technique. And once you get it, which takes just a few minutes, you can do it on command anytime you want, without needing to remember any details. Once you've got it, it's as automatic as breathing. Anna shows you how to get rid of any persistent anxiety, phobias, or fear, whether you know where it's coming from or it arrives out of the blue. Think about how just this one secret can make you feel practically invincible to any challenge that comes your way, as you maintain calm control under pressure, even when you really do have something to fear. You're also going to discover how to begin eliminating panic and anxiety from your life forever in a step-by-step 3-week program Anna calls Thought Patrol. Then she reveals how you can effortlessly override any hidden limiting beliefs and anxieties holding you back from public speaking, flying, heights, or any other activity that you wish you could share in, even if you've written off ever being able to enjoy it free of fear. And you'll find all this plus much, much more waiting for you inside the 60-second panic solution in convenient PDF downloads, videos you can watch on your computer on demand, even audio MP3s you can take with you anywhere while in your car, on errands, or at the gym. Now you may be thinking that with all the unique and powerful tactics Anna reveals inside, the cost of the 60-second panic solution is going to be sky high. And in all honesty, it really should be. When you consider many panic and anxiety sufferers pay between $100 and $300 per therapy session, and hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars per year on prescription drugs that don't work long term, the real solution should cost more, not less. Yet the last thing Anna wants to do is charge you an arm and a leg to finally get the kind of permanent relief you've been waiting for and deserve. The truth is, Anna already has a thriving practice, and all her clients come from word of mouth. She's never needed a website, and she doesn't really need one now. Instead, she's making her treatment available online for the first time because she wants to get this solution into the hands of every sufferer around the world, who she can never hope to meet and help in person. That's why right now, from this page only, and before this video ends, you can get instant online access to the entire 60-second panic solution for just one easy payment of $67.95. After that, the entire method is yours to keep with lifetime free continued access and updates. Look below this presentation right now, and then click on the big orange rectangular Add to Cart button. And when you do, remember you don't need to decide today. All you need to do to claim your special deal for lifetime access to the 60-second panic solution is click the button to tell Anna you'll try it, and then take advantage of her no questions asked triple guarantee. Simply try the 60-second panic solution for a full 60 days. If you don't find yourself stopping your own panic or anxiety attacks in their tracks before they ruin your day in just 60 seconds or less, or if you don't manage to banish anxiety from your life for good in the next 3 weeks, or even if you just don't like her accent, which I think is lovely by the way, then you'll get a cheerful refund of every penny you paid with no hassles or runarounds. Just look below this presentation right now and click on the big orange rectangular button and get started immediately. Here's what will happen the moment you click the button below. First, you'll be taken to Anna's 100% secure encrypted checkout page on clickbank.com. Then, after you order, you'll see a special message from me. And finally, simply click on the button that says Complete Your Order. You'll automatically see a page where you'll receive your personal access details to the 60-second Panic Solution private members area, plus a few additional bonus gifts I know she has waiting for you inside. It's that simple. Oh, and there's one more thing Anna warned me about on our first call that I want to pass on to you today while you're watching. Whether you experienced your first panic or anxiety attack only recently or you've been suffering for years, the worst thing you can possibly do is do nothing. Listen, you've already heard how fast my panic attacks got more severe and more frequent, and your experience may even be worse than mine. Even scarier, Anna shared the latest research with me that links untreated long-term panic and anxiety to dementia and even Alzheimer's. This research is so worrisome that Forbes magazine recently ran an article about it. And maybe worst of all, the latest research from scientists at Emory University School of Medicine shows that severe anxiety in parents can affect the brains of their children and even their children's children. Don't let that happen to you. Today is your day to take responsibility for your health and happiness, and the health and happiness of your loved ones who often experience your pain along with you, feeling perhaps even more helpless and powerless than you do, just like my wife did watching me on that plane or waking in terror in the middle of the night. Look, I don't want to pressure you here, yet right now, as you watch this video, you're at a crossroads that'll affect your life in almost every way imaginable. And when you think about it, you really have three options. Option 1 is to do nothing and let this video end. Leave this site and do nothing except keep suffering needlessly. Honestly, if you've been watching this long, it shows me that what you're doing now just isn't working for you. So doing nothing really isn't much of an option at all. Option 2 is take what you learned in this video and try to figure it all out for yourself. You can try this, but in my experience, trying to figure anything out when panic attacks are consuming your life isn't easy. I don't know about you. When I was in the middle of a panic attack, I couldn't even think straight, let alone try to figure out how to stop them. That's just extra stress that you don't need. And then there's option 3, which is simply to do what thousands of folks like you have already done. Try Anna's proven 60-second panic solution right now. Look below this video and click on the big orange rectangular Add to Cart button. I know you'll make the right decision. Anna and I both look forward to meeting you inside. Okay, if you're still here watching, I bet you have questions. So let's go over some of the most common questions people ask Anna, and I'll give you her best answers right here to help you out. I've suffered for years and have tried every treatment, but nothing worked. Can the 60-second panic solution help me? Yes. Whether you've tried medication or traditional therapy, the problem with most treatments for panic and anxiety is they only cover up your symptoms without getting to the root cause. The 60-second panic solution gives you lasting relief without a single pill and without months or years of therapy. This kind of permanent solution is now possible for you because Anna Gibson Steele's methods let you use the power of your own mind-body connection to switch off the hidden triggers of your anxiety deep inside your brain. Anna, have you seen studies about anxiety, panic in the workplace? I'm wondering if my anxiety is holding me back at my job and whether your method could help me get ahead. As a matter of fact, one recent study at the University of Michigan showed that anxiety symptoms can hold you back at work, affecting everything from your focus to your performance in meetings and even your chances for getting promoted. Fortunately, the study also proved that when you get your anxiety under control, you're likely to see quick improvements in everything from your productivity to your job satisfaction. And best of all, in your paychecks. What kind of symptoms can the 60-second panic solution help me with? First, you need to know that no two people's panic and anxiety symptoms are exactly the same. Yet Anna's 60-second panic solution can help you whether you suffer from panic or anxiety attacks, ongoing anxiety, fear of having a heart attack, fear of fainting, fear that you're losing your mind, fear of leaving your home, fear of being in public or around other people, phobias and irrational fears, feelings of hopelessness or being overwhelmed, body tremors and shaking, obsessive worrying, and dozens more symptoms that you may be experiencing right now. Anna, I've been seeing my therapist for so long we've actually become friends. Am I still going to need him after using your solution? Look, having friends is wonderful, but if you're not receiving the relief you expect from your therapist, then you may want to reconsider how you spend your money. The truth is, no matter how much you've enjoyed talking with your therapist, you'll enjoy the freedom Anna's treatment will give you even more. And I bet you'll probably find some fun ways to spend the money you'll save every month, too. How long will it take me to feel relief? Right away. In fact, just like the name suggests, you can use Anna's method to get relief from any panic or anxiety attack anywhere before it starts in only 60 seconds. Not only that, you'll be able to use the other techniques you discover inside to put your anxiety behind you for good in just 3 weeks. Anna, I've been on medication for several months now, and I only get severe attacks every once in a while. So I'm wondering, Since I'm actually okay with feeling a little emotionally disconnected and numbed out from life, is it worth the risk to try something else? Medication can work, yet the problem is it only covers up your symptoms rather than fixing the real cause of your anxiety. Another danger is, if your prescription makes you feel numb enough to hide your worst panic attack symptoms, it could also cover up your early warning symptoms if you ever experience a real life-threatening heart attack. This is just one more reason why I recommend that you start getting natural relief from your panic without delay, even if you feel like medication is working for you today. Does the 60-second panic solution cause any side effects? No. The 60-second panic solution is 100% natural, so you won't notice any side effects whatsoever, unless you count the really positive ones. In fact, it's safe enough that anyone can use it, even children as young as 5 years old. I'm currently taking an anti-anxiety prescription, but after using your method, I don't feel I need it anymore. Should I be concerned about stopping the medication cold turkey, or should I see my doctor? If you're taking medication for panic or anxiety, Anna strongly recommends making an appointment with your doctor right away to discuss the safest way to wean off your prescription, even if you feel there's no longer any reason to take it. Many medications may be unsafe to stop taking overnight. Can children use the 60-second panic solution? Yes. Anna has successfully treated dozens of children as young as 5 years old who suffer from panic attacks, anxiety, phobias, stress, and other problems at school. As a parent, all you need to do is watch Anna's video presentations, learn the simple techniques, and then teach them to your child. What if I get the 60-second panic solution and it doesn't work for me? The truth is, even though it's practically illegal to call any natural treatment a cure these days, Anna has never had a client who's actually used her method and did not experience lasting relief from panic and anxiety. However, if for any reason you are less than thrilled with the 60-second panic solution, simply send an email to the address you'll find inside, and you'll get a prompt refund of every penny you paid with no hassles. Look below this presentation right now and click on the big orange rectangular button. Here's what will happen the moment you click that button. First, you'll be taken to Anna's 100% secure encrypted checkout page on clickbank.com. Then, after you order, you'll see a special message from me. Finally, simply click the button that says Complete Your Order. You'll automatically see a page where you'll receive the account to access the 60-second panic solution private members area, plus a few additional bonus gifts Anna has waiting for you. Once again, I know you'll make the right decision. Anna and I are both looking forward to meeting you inside.